Today we're speaking with Erica Perl. Erica is a children's book author and reading expert. And today she's going to be speaking with us about tips on how to encourage your independent readers. Welcome to MommyCast.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so for my kids who don't want me to leave the room so they can go to sleep at night, would pick a big chapter book to read. What do I do about that?
Well, you know, there are things you can do around bedtime reading to give kids room to go free with their books, but rein it in at a certain point. I mean, setting times, limits are always helpful to give them a sense that, okay, we're going to read and we're going to read until this time.
I mean, really, do you bring an egg timer in the room? And
I usually, you know, there's a digital clock in my daughter's room, and so I will just look at that and say, you know, we're going to have to cut it off at this point. Do you want to start this next chapter? We may have to stop midway through the chapter.
Right.
And then when we get to that point, I'll know, you know, do we have 2 pages and we can fudge a little bit, or is it going to be really, you know, really go for it?
Yeah, but if you fudge, you give them a page, they'll take another chapter.
That's right.
It's true. And it's also hard because a lot of times I'm enjoying the book too, but I try to sort of...
you don't want to ever discourage your children from reading. I mean, you do want them to be excited about reading.
But you do want them to be excited about sleep as well.
Yeah, it's true. Well, what I try and do is I try and budget in quiet reading time for my kids. Even my younger daughter, who's not quite reading independently, she feels very important to have her quiet reading time, even though she's really looking at books.
Right.
And so what I do is there's a time period after everyone brushes their teeth in which I read out loud, and then after that we shift into quiet reading time. So then they can sort of make a decision. I can read some more, but it's going to come out of your quiet reading time. And so they will go look at other books and have their quiet reading time. It's really nice because then I usually check out and then I come back in when it's lights out. And so then it gives me an opportunity to kind of be like, okay, I'm going to go do a couple of mommy things, but I'll be back. You guys have your quiet reading time.
Okay.
And they usually do use that to read quietly or to look at things quietly.
I find it interesting that she's protective of her own personal time.
Yeah, that's
For some reason, my older daughter really, it's very, very important to her that she has that time.
That's going to transition into something really magnificent when she's in high school. I can just sense it.
Yeah, it's nice. But she you know, she has figured out ways to like have a flashlight, and she wants to try and after lights out continue that quiet reading time. And that's when I sort of crack down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, on the weekends maybe we can give you a little bit more, but you know, it's kind of neat to have reading time be sort of a special privilege that you dole out.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Well, I think also all moms need a break.
Yes.
And so when you've got a 2 or a 3 or a 4-year-old, you know, who maybe aren't reading at all, making sure that there is, you know, especially when they give up that second nap, making sure that there's still that quiet hour.
I completely agree with that. The quiet time for me.
Yes, my children took 2 naps. I don't know about you, but my children did.
Spoiled.
But when your kids, that's what I started with my older daughter, and that may be one of the reasons that quiet reading time is so important to her. Is, you know, when she stopped napping, we had quiet time because I needed it.
Yeah,
so we would just have quiet time, and she'd listen to what we call a story tape, an audiobook.
Oh, I like that.
And she would just go into her room and listen to that. She'd often read a different book or look at a different book while she was listening. And she'd have that time and I'd have my time.
Right.
And on the weekends, we try and find time for that because it's another little, everybody recharge their batteries time.
Exactly. It's a much better way of putting it than how I've been doing it, which is everybody go away, mommy needs a timeout. So it's way better.
I get there too.
Yeah, but I'm going to start calling it private reading time.
But it's nice. But it's nice too because it's also a nice way to model to them. I mean, you know, sometimes you won't use it for reading, but sometimes you will. You'll go check out your book or you look at the newspaper or something, and so you show them, hey, you know what? We're all readers in this house. We're all doing that kind of stuff.
Now, how much do you think kids seeing their parents read influences them?
I think it's huge. I really do. I think that when kids grow up in a house full of readers, when it's just one of those things that's just part of their environment, they don't even notice it.
Yeah.
They don't think about it.
Paul's a huge reader.
Yeah.
And I'm getting better. I went through, you know, when I was in college, reading became a chore because it was all this required reading stuff, and I was doing pre-med classes, and it was like, and I got really reading became not a joyful thing for me, and I'm slowly starting to get back into it now that I have more time to read.
Yeah.
Because when you have young children, you really have a lot of time.
Yeah.
I also think it matters less what you read. You should read what is pleasurable for you, but even if it's just flipping through a magazine or a catalog or something.
Does it count if it's just periodicals?
I don't think it matters that much. Okay. I mean, I really do think the point is that you're showing them that this is something that's important to you. Yeah, throw that away. Get rid of that. The other thing I was going to say in terms of kids who are excited about reading and everything, a great way to capitalize on that is audiobooks.
Okay.
We keep a ton of them in our car. We take them out of the library or get new ones when we're tired of the old ones.
Yeah.
And my kids are crazy about them. You can download all sorts of great
Right.
stuff, and if you're on a car trip,
And you don't count that as cheating. That's not cheating, right?
I really don't. Maybe I'm now getting a reputation as a major cheater here, but I don't, because I think that's a great way.
I think it fosters the love of books still.
Absolutely.
Well, there's that website called Audible Kids.
Right, and I
Audible
love
Kids
it.
is great. Yeah.
I love it, and you can download books. So my daughter has been watching like TV shows on her iPod to go to sleep at night. So I thought, why not kill two birds in one stone and get the book that she's supposed to be reading for school on an audiobook and have her listen to that when she's supposed to be going to sleep. So.
No, I think that's great. And a lot of times kids will go back, if they like what they hear, they're going to go back and read the book afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if they're reading the book and they're having trouble with it, they'll understand it more because they'll absorb
Coming
it
in
through.
another way.
Exactly.
These are great tips. Thank you so much, Erica.
Thank you for having me.
For more information on Erica Perl and more information on helping your independent readers, check out our website at mommycast.com. Yeah, now we're like almost the same.
You look good. 3.
But I have to.
You need more
I'll
volume.
just use my eyebrows.
2.